Being discarded by an avoidant might be the most painful thing that you ever go through in your entire life. It is not a normal breakup at all. It feels soul crushing. It feels like somebody reached into your chest and ripped your heart out and stomped on it while it was still beating and punched you in the gut at the same time. It really is earth-shattering and not in a good way. Now, friends and family may tell you to just get over it. They may be well-intentioned, but if they've never gone through it, they don't understand. This is not a normal breakup at all. Let me explain and break down why it is not a normal breakup and why it hurts so much worse than a typical breakup. Reason number 1, it often happens during an extended honeymoon phase. The honeymoon phase of a relationship is not when people expect to get broken up with, not without just cause, and typically in a normal breakup you see it coming. With the avoidant, everything seemed wonderful. It felt perfect. It felt like you had met your person, your twin flame. It felt like you were with your soulmate. Everything was amazing. You were on cloud 9. And they're telling you things like nobody's ever made them feel this way, that you are the special one that came into their life and you are feeling the same way. So when it abruptly ends, when everything's going great, it's like having the rug pulled from under your feet. You didn't see it coming at all. And that alone makes it so incredibly painful. Number 2, the lack of closure. The human mind likes certainty. Even if it's an answer about something that you don't like, certainty, answers, still gives the human mind a sense of peace. But when the avoidant discards you, they often do it without any real explanation, and they tend to leave the door open just a crack. I'm not ready for a relationship right now. You're so perfect. You're amazing. I just can't give you what you need. I need time and space to work on myself. Maybe someday we can revisit this and give this another try when I'm ready. I'm not saying never. I don't want to lose you from my life. I'm just not ready right now. So they're not definitively slamming that door shut. Maybe they're even leaving items of theirs at your place. So it feels like it's not completely closed. They don't stop communication with you. Not in most cases. They're still communicating with you just a little bit, maybe breadcrumbing, liking your posts, watching your stories, the occasional text message, maybe even occasionally spending time together, but really never committing to getting back together, just stringing you along. You have no certainty. Even if you're not talking to them, they left it vague. You didn't get the answers. You never really truly were told why the relationship was ending, just vague stuff. So you're left with a whole ball of uncertainty, and it gives you anxiety, and it doesn't make sense because everything seemed great. So you're just a mess trying to figure out what happened and making sense of it and get answers. And the more you push for answers, the more they shut down, the more they give you vagueness or stop answering you altogether. Number 3, they future faked you. They made promises of the future together. Oh, I can really see my future with you. Maybe they talked about pets that you'll own together, or the house you'll buy, or the family that you'll have, the places you'll travel together. Maybe they even went so far as planning aspects of their life around you. It could be work, school, relocating, all sorts of different things, but they made it very clear that they wanted their future with you, and you bought it, hook, line, and sinker. So not only is the rug pulled from under your feet, you are now having to come to terms with the fact that the future you thought you were about to have was ripped away from you without explanation. And that alone is very painful because you're grieving the loss of the person and you're grieving the loss of the future that you thought you had. Number 4, the lack of empathy that they showed you. This was supposed to be your person. This is the person that supposedly loved you and cared about you. And when they're discarding you, they show little to no concern for the pain. Maybe they don't even have the courtesy to do it in person and they're doing it by text, or maybe they're just ghosting you. Or if they did do it in person, it's like the stone cold look in their eyes. They're not concerned about the pain that you're in, and they're just completely numb to it. In the cases where they do show emotion, it still comes with vagueness, no real coherent answer, and the sadness that they show is for themselves, not really for you. Their general concern, regardless of whether they're stone cold or showing some emotion, their concerns for themselves, not for you. And this is a person that was supposed to care about you, but they're not giving you any empathy at all. Number 5, and this one is a doozy. You were addicted to them. Your brain was addicted to them. Intermittent reinforcement is incredibly addictive. Even when the avoidant seems like they're being consistent with you early on, there's little tiny cues and clues that your brain picks up on about little micro pullaways. They're not consistent because they're emotionally unavailable. They might be slightly inconsistent by text message, or maybe in person, maybe their body language. But there's little micro hot and colds. Sometimes it's blatant. Sometimes they're noticeably hot and cold, blowing up your phone one day and then the next day a little quiet and distant. But your brain gets hooked on the intermittent reinforcement. Intermittent reinforcement is psychologically and scientifically proven to be very addictive. It's like a slot machine. That's why people get addicted to gambling. Every time they win, their needs are being met, and it comes with a dopamine rush, a euphoria on your end. But then when you're losing and you're not winning, your needs aren't being met, but your brain is searching to get back to that happy place where the needs are being met. That's why people keep on hitting that button at the slot machine to get back to that euphoric place. It's the same principle with the avoidant. They meet your emotional needs, but then it's taken away. So you're striving to get back to that place where the needs are being met. It can be in a very noticeable way, or it could be in a micro way. The same principle applies in animals. If you teach a dog to do a trick and you give it a treat every time it does the trick, it'll actually lose interest in doing the trick pretty quickly. But if you give it a treat only every handful of times that it does the trick, it'll consistently do the trick all day long because it wants that intermittent reward. They did a scientific study on lab rats and got the same result. Intermittent reinforcement is addictive. It's the roller coaster ride. When you're on the highs, it comes with that dopamine rush, a pure euphoria. And when you're at the lows, you're searching to get back to the highs by getting your needs met from the same source that caused you the pain. And the avoidant is no exception to that. In a big way, or even a small way that you don't even recognize, you get addicted to their hot and cold, their intermittent reinforcement. And now that they are gone, your brain is absolutely trying to get back to that happy place and viewing them as the only way to get there. It is a withdrawal from the addiction. Your brain is going through severe dopamine and oxytocin withdrawal. Those are the feel-good hormones that go off in the brain in a relationship. So you are withdrawing just like an addict would withdraw because you have an addict brain due to them. Intermittent reinforcement from an emotionally unavailable partner hijacks your brain's dopamine reward system, and now you're paying the price. So if you're hurting and if you're in a world of heartache and pain because you got discarded by an avoidant, recognize you're not alone in this. And this is not an easy experience for anybody. And you may not have understood what attachment was when you're going through this and you're now searching for answers. But one, you're not alone at all. There's plenty of people going through this around the world. And healing is possible. And you can set yourself up to never go through this again. If you learn to recognize the red flags and learn to hold boundaries, you can prevent this from ever happening again. You can protect your heart and then find a partner that is emotionally available, that would never do this to you, that would never blindside you and shatter you. Healthy partners exist, but unfortunately, there's a lot of unhealthy ones out there too. And that's why boundaries and paying attention to red flags is so incredibly important, because this is not a fun experience. Once is plenty enough for a lifetime. And it's not your fault. Don't blame yourself. You didn't make them this way. A healthy person would never, ever end a relationship like this. If they were unhappy in the relationship, they would communicate that with you, and they wouldn't blindside you. They wouldn't pull the rug from under your feet. They wouldn't do this to you at all. It's not your fault.